Dragon Slayer 2 will be releasing on the 4th of January. That's about a month and a half from now, so this is how you can prepare for the brand new quest. So as you can see in this picture, the requirements aren't that difficult to obtain. 200 quest points, although maybe used to be difficult, these days with all the newer quests in the game, it isn't too hard to get quest points, and the quests listed aren't difficult quests to do. And the skill requirements aren't very high. Those are pretty low skill requirements for what's seemingly going to be one of the most challenging quests introduced to old school RuneScape. There's a good chance that most of the people already watching this video have these requirements done. If not, this is a good starting point to prepare for the quest, having all these skills which won't be too difficult to obtain, and getting these quests done alongside having 200 quest points, that won't be too difficult to do, and with like 40 days or however long is left until the quest comes out, those are pretty easy goals to hit in order to be prepared for the quest. However, there are further preparations you should make according to Mod Ed here. He tweeted, "Already have all of the requirements for Dragon Slayer 2? Don't stop there. You'll want your agility, thieving and combat skills as high as possible for this quest." So if you're like me and already have all of these requirements, the only thing I need to do now is level more agility, thieving and combat. But not only will you need these skill levels and quests completed, you will also need to familiarise yourself with Fossil Island. Fossil Island seems to be a part of the quest. Whether or not it'll be a big influence on the quest or not, it's hard to say, but one of the quests required to do Dragon Slayer 2 is Bone Voyage, and screenshots from the playtesting, internal playtest within Jagex are seen here in Fossil Island. Using the strange machine in the house on Fossil Island, you can turn your dig site pendant into an enhanced dig site pendant that teleports you to Fossil Island. So if Fossil Island is going to be a big part of the quest, having that item to be able to teleport here would be very handy. Alongside unlocking the mycelium transportation system, which works similar to the spirit trees, where there's these giant mushrooms you can use to teleport around Fossil Island, and in order to unlock them you must use them. So walking around the island and finding these mushrooms, which will probably be on the map, if you click on the map icon you'll see transportation icons on the island, those would be the mushrooms you'd want to interact with in order to unlock their teleportation locations. So having both the dig site pendant and the mushrooms unlocked on Fossil Island, and having the base camp fully built, will probably help you in completing Dragon Slayer 2. Dragon Slayer 2 will lead you on an adventure across the game, visiting locations new and old. What that tells me, there's going to be a ton of travelling. You're going to have to run everywhere, you're going to have to teleport everywhere, so having things like fairy rings unlocked would be very, very beneficial. Although the fairy tale quests aren't a part of the quest requirements, having them done so you can use the fairy rings to get across the map would probably help you in the Dragon Slayer 2 quest when travelling the world. Especially since with the quest comes an expansion to the Filled Up Hills, and one of the best ways to travel to Filled Up Hills are either via fairy ring or gnome glider transportation. Those are like the only two real ways to get down to the Filled Up Hills effectively or efficiently, with the Myths Guild just south of that, a short run south. The fairy ring teleport is probably going to be your closest teleport to the Myths Guild. Although if the Corsair Cove here is released at the same time, I believe there will be a boat from Port Sarum to this cove area, this little town, this pirate town, and you can run along, so having the Rat Pits minigame teleport to Port Sarum would probably help as well if this sort of little dock area does come at the same time as the quest. The quest you need to teleport to Port Sarum via the Rat Pits minigame teleport is Rat Catchers, which also isn't a quest requirement on this list, so having that done may also be pretty beneficial. But what will probably be the biggest challenge in this game is the boss battle. It's called Dragon Slayer 2, which means there is obviously going to be a dragon slaying element as the final boss battle. But it's not going to be as easy as Elvarg or most of the other quest boss battles. It's going to have harder mechanics than the original Elvarg boss battle. All you had to do with Elvarg was sort of just take food and just stab it to death with your rune sword, you know, if you're free to play anyway. And just eat lobsters every time you take damage. But as more bosses release into old school RuneScape, the harder they get and the more mechanics they have, which makes them way more difficult. So having as high as possible combat stats, as stated by ModEd on Twitter, is probably going to help you a ton. Hey, if you haven't completed Monkey Madness 2 yet, but you're able to start it, doing that quest will probably prepare you mentally for Dragon Slayer 2, because that is a difficult quest with a hard boss battle. So if you can complete that, you will be able to complete Dragon Slayer 2. So in summary, in order to prepare for this quest, yes, you're going to need these requirements: 200 quest points, the quest listed below it, all of these stats, the hardest of which is probably 70 smithing. That may cost you a little bit of money, it may take a little bit of time, but it's not unrealistic to get these things before the quest comes out. But after that, you're going to have to do the graft, guys. You're going to have to do the grind. You're going to have to train your combat so you can defeat not just one boss at the end. You can't just show up to the quest with your anti-dragon square shield and a rune skimmer and expect to beat the thing. Stated in one of the dev blogs, it says there's going to be many a difficult boss throughout the quest. So not just one final boss, but shit to kill before it that are going to be difficult. Much like in Monkey Madness, there was a boss before the final boss, like this little monkey dude, he was a piece of shit. There's going to be puzzles to solve that probably require thieving and agility, because Modhead said you're going to train those skills. So after you've got all the base skill requirements, go train your strength, go train your thieving, go train your agility, go to Fossil Island, unlock all the teleports, go get your fairy rings, boom, you're ready for the quest, easy, done. You've already completed it before it came out.